Hello and welcome back to another edition of Camp Chapters. This time we're reading chapters 18 through 23 of The Secret Life of Amanda K. Woods. So, let's get started, shall we? Amanda was sitting on the bed reading an interesting book from the library. It was called Yoga, Pathway to Health and Knowledge. The author was Swami Savananda. Mr. Savananda was a yogi. Yogis were people who did yoga exercises according to the book. The exercises were the way to health and to developing powers higher than most people knew they had. Amanda leafed through the book, looking at photos of the author doing the exercises. He was a young, calm-looking, rather hairy man with extraordinarily large eyes, dressed in a swimming suit. In some exercises, he was upside down with his legs knotted up in various ways that looked as if they could never come unknotted. While his eyes seemed to say, "I know exactly how to get out of this. In my mind, I am already out." Amanda looked for a picture of the Swami kissing his elbow. There wasn't one. She turned more pages. She got to a part where Swami Savananda said that some very advanced yogis could even foresee the future. They had developed an organ called the third eye, which was not a physical eye, but rather a little indentation right above the bridge of the nose, midway between a person's actual eyes. Amanda felt for the indentation. Sure enough, it was there. She rubbed it with her Lyle Leverage hand. Margaret, looking up from her homework, said, "What are you doing?" "Developing special powers," Amanda said. "Special powers," Margaret mocked. "Tell me, how's your friend from Montana?" "Who?" Amanda said. "Elizabeth," Margaret reminded her, and Amanda remembered. "Your advice was really working great, Margaret," Amanda said. "But then, a few weeks ago, just after somebody spoke to Liz for the first time, she and her whole family moved away." "She should be all right anywhere now," Margaret said. "She knows the method." Margaret reached into her desk drawer and pulled out an empty picture frame. Then she took a photo out of her purse and forced it under the glass. She set the frame picture on her dresser. Amanda's thumb on her third eye pretty much blocked her two regular eyes. But still, she could see whose picture was in the frame. Her thumb dropped. "Oh no," Amanda cried, "not Bob Bostwick." "I'm going out with him a lot, and he gave it to me," Margaret said. So as to not see the face of Bob Bostwick, Amanda rubbed her third eye more. She felt she might be attaining powers. "You should not put that photo up there, Margaret," Amanda said, because the why would not come to her. Margaret ignored her. Amanda rubbed her third eye again with her Lyle Leverage hand. She tried to contact a knowledge of the future. She felt headachy. Maybe that was a sign of success. "Are you going out with him again tonight?" Amanda asked. "Yes," Margaret said. "You shouldn't do it," Amanda said. "You really shouldn't do it. Something bad will happen if you do." "Like what?" Margaret said. "I don't know exactly, but you should break your date," Amanda said. "Amanda, mind your own business," Margaret said. It was 7 when Bob Bostwick came by, shaking Amanda's parents' hands, pulling Amanda's ponytail, and taking Margaret away. It must have been very late. Amanda never really knew how late, when she felt the jolt of Margaret's body dropping out of her bed. There was a smell of mud in the room. Amanda reached out in the darkness and touched her sister's arm. It was cold and trembling. "What's the matter with you?" Amanda demanded. "Nerves," Margaret said. Nerves were very bad. Nerves were something only their mother had. Margaret breathed out a long, slow breath. "Bob landed his car in the Red Cedar tonight," she said. "In the river?" Amanda said. "He drove really fast and spun out on a curve. He does it all the time for the thrill, but this time he spun too far. The car almost rolled over. We just missed a tree." Margaret breathed out another long breath and shivered. "I couldn't get the car door open, but Bob got his and mine open. The river wasn't deep, but it was slippery. I fell. The water was cold. A guy had to tow Bob's car. I got a taxi here from Rome, but don't you ever tell Mother and Daddy. I promise I won't, Amanda whispered. Without turning on the light, Amanda got up and felt her way to the bathroom. She brought a towel back for Margaret. In the darkness, there were squishy sounds as Margaret pulled off her wet shoes. Then she stood up and turned on the light, blinding Amanda, and pitched something into the wastebasket by the bed. Amanda's eyes adjusted and she peered down into the wastebasket. The photo of Bob Bostwick was in it, frame and all. Margaret undressed. She put a long flannel granny-style nightgown instead of her usual baby doll pajamas. She got into bed and snapped off the light. What I don't understand is, you knew it was going to happen, Margaret whispered. So tell me, how did you know?